So, have you ever been on the new sky bridge of Kanal and then this happens? Well, if not, but you want to know how to do it, then stick around because in today's video, I'm going to have you covered.
I'm so used to that. Look at that.
So earlier this week, you may have seen a video up on Twitter that I think Pengu shared in which someone was pretty much stood out here on Kanal and they came over to this point and they just launched a grenade up and took out Pengu and one other person at the beginning of the round, and it was the most spicy grenade I've seen in a long time. I was super hyped about it and thought, you know what, this is 100% going into a tips and tricks video. It would be rude not to share it. So as you can see in the background, this is how to do the grenade from the video. I've pretty much showcased where you need to stand, so if you do need to do it, you can go back and watch the video and pause it where you need to. Being completely honest, it's really easy to do. I nailed it the first 3 times that I did it, and I'm no pro with grenades, I'm really not, but nevertheless, this grenade is just hot. It really is. It goes so far into the room and it can do a lot of damage to people moving around in there. Now, after seeing this clip, it did get the creative juices flowing, and I started brainstorming where else you're going to be able to hit. And hitting this area of the map, the boxes where a lot of people are going to stand and they try and protect the sky bridge from there. You know what? I thought that is insane. They're not going to know it is coming from there at all. It's just going to appear out of nowhere. Yes, you could potentially get them from this giant double window on the right, but as soon as you open that up, they're going to know that it's coming. They're going to expect a grenade or a peek of some sort, and they're probably going to be reluctant to stay where they are. The other thing about this window is once you open it up, it's really easy for the defender to look out down to ground level and actually shoot you. I've been doing it as a defender, so I would be reluctant to go there as an attacker, if that makes sense. So to know how to do it, what you're going to do is you're going to come outside on the north side of Kanal. You're going to see these 2 white buildings, and I've drawn a cross on the floor with bullet holes just to make it nice and clear for people. But you see this little shack here and this one here. We're going to go on the left side, and we're going to stand on that spot. That's next to if you follow the yellow line to the hut, and then directly in between those 2, and you want to stand right in the middle of that. From there, you're going to look over towards the building, and as you can see, there's these little slats in between the windows. You're going to look at the 3rd one along. You're going to follow the line just to the right of that all the way to the top. From there, you can practice with drones as much as you want, and as you'll see, just by throwing it, it goes all the way to those boxes. Really simple, not overly difficult. It's just a case of lining yourself up for a couple of seconds first. You do want to make sure you're lined up right on the top, and once you throw the grenade, I wouldn't cook it. If you're going to cook it fractionally, and I mean fractionally, because as soon as you lob it in, it's pretty much going to be going off by the time it's finished traveling. This is definitely one that I'm going to be adding into my arsenal, whether it's just throwing drones in there or throwing grenades in there. I think this is quite a common spot because the boxes feel like they're reasonably protected, and it's a good way to hold the copy room. The difficulty with it is there's now a counter to it, and it's a pretty strong counter as long as there's no Jaeger. And just in case they're on top of the boxes trying to look down towards the stairs on the sky bridge, you can also take them out from there with this grenade, and I cannot wait to see people's clips utilizing this. The next clip for today is going to see us over on Coastline, and full credit to this one goes to Dom. I'm going to link all of his social medias down in the description below. I very often play online with him, and he does YouTube and Twitch and all sorts of other bits and bobs. And he found this, and this is disgusting. This Maestro cam is going to make holding kitchen so much simpler. By placing it here, you are creating your own pixel peak. You're protecting yourself with the railings. You get a good line of sight onto the delivery door, and you can also counter against anyone that is rappelling upside down on that same door. It's a strong position to hold, and to be able to come out here and actually peek this is just going to be formidable. When he first sent me some pictures of this particular spot, I thought that is really strong, and then I actually jumped into a custom game with Mav, and it was just ridiculous. On so many occasions I thought, well, okay, he's probably not going to be able to see me from here, as he was hiding behind it with Maestro, and the line of sight he had was just insane, as you will see here. Now, the cam is a little bit finicky. It's not a really difficult one. It's not one of these like overly complicated ones to do. It's reasonably simple once you've done it a couple of times. But on this particular occasion, Mav didn't even get it perfect, and I would struggle to take him out there. Even if I go up, as I say, onto the rappel, and you try and get this this top-down sort of view looking into where they are, I had a look at the cam where it was. I stuck my head to here thinking, he can't see me at this point. It's going to be impossible. He's got a clear line of sight onto me the whole time. He really had, as you'll see from this kill cam. It's just so strong, and I don't really know how you're going to be able to counter that. I mean, you can shoot Zophirs, you can shoot Ash rounds. You team that up with the Jaeger, yeah, good luck. So in order to place the cam, what you have to do is you have to come up to this wall at the front. You have to crouch down, start deploying, and then stand up. And as you're doing that, you go into the animation and it pulls it to the wall, and you get the pixel peak. Now, you do have to face like straight forwards. If you don't, it starts placing it on the wall that you're looking at, like the grey wall, or it starts placing it too high and you get too big a gap and you don't get the pixel peak. It took me about 2 or 3 attempts to get this right, and even still, every now and then I don't quite nail it, but a couple of attempts, you've got it. It's not one of those sort of Maestro cams that you're going to be still putting there a minute into the round trying to get it right. It's not going to be too difficult. As you can see here, the more you play around and the more you practice with it, the easier it becomes. I was trying loads of different stuff out just to try and get the angle. Sometimes it goes too high, sometimes it goes too low, but realistically you could quite easily get this done in prep phase with just a little bit of practice. Once it's in place, not only do you have a really good view onto the delivery door, you can also have a good line of sight into the bathroom and help anyone that's in there. You're able to turn around and look into the kitchen to protect against the single window coming in or the single door. You only really going to get shifted out of here if you either A, make a mistake and overpeak someone in one of those other angles, or alternatively if you get taken out from the roof above if they've got top floor control. All of these are a possibility obviously on every single map, but nevertheless this could still be a really effective weapon in your coastline defenses. The final tip for today is going to see us still on coastline. Now this is a bit of a bug as opposed to a tip, but I think you could probably use it while it's still in the game. A lot of people are probably going to get upset at this, especially at the fact it's a spawn peak. But hey, if it's there, let's use it. You know they're going to do it to us anyway. Now, most people would expect the spawn peak to come from the aquarium door. It's very often open. There's very often people run out to try and get a line of sight onto the ruins. However, I'm not there. I'm at the luggage window where they're probably not going to expect to see me in the slightest. Certainly when I was doing this with Mav, he was just like, what are you doing over there? I didn't even see you initially. And it does give you that extra split second from being in a window that people aren't going to expect the peak to come from because the line of sight isn't normally there. Now, I'm going to have to give full credit to Dom for this one as well. I think he picked it up from someone in his game, but he's the one that told me, and I don't know who the other person was. But yeah, this is just a disgusting spot. I don't know what it is. It just seems to be broken. It seems to come up with a vault prompt. You do have to be careful of not going too far out onto the windowsill because you will fall to your death. But nevertheless, it's a bit of a cheeky spot that you can stand on and get that extra line of sight. If you are going to do it, as soon as you vault it up, I would move back just a little bit just to stay away from the edge. But for the most part, it's a reasonably safe-ish spot, considering it's a spawn peak. I'm afraid that's going to wrap it up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and hopefully you've gained something from it. Let me know down in the comments below which tip was your favorite. If you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.